All right, everybody. Hello, and how you doing? Hello, Bundy. This thing's giving me crap right now. Hang on. There we are. We are back once again, and we are messing around with the Arc-10 still. We are building up the mainframe, trying to get, the overall shape of this thing figured out, which is what will eventually happen. And yeah, lots of good stuff happening right now. So let me see. We started yesterday getting this thing built up, and that's where we're just going to go from here on out. We're going to take this to its logical conclusion here. If I can figure out how that logical conclusion is going to work. Oh no. Tell me my headset didn't just do that. All right, we're doing good. So we're probably going to put another block there. Like I said, just running with this right now, trying to figure out how this is all going to go together. That be the case, number four should go right about here, like so. But yeah, here we're supposed to get more snow, which is going to be fun. Already got my place. Let's see. I've already got everything swept out, so that's not an issue. Let's see. What was the next one I put in here? Oh yeah, number five, I believe. But yes, now I'm sitting here bracing because we're supposed to get more snow at some point in time next week, and my wife is happy. I'm not happy because I am gonna have to work in this crap, and my kid's praying for another snow day. So she's wanting more snow. Okay, so we got that done. That is getting awfully close to that. Hold on, okay, yes, that's normal. Why is this all weird? Okay, this section here is going to do some weird stuff, I bet. And then that there's going to need another. Let's see. I think that's going to need to have this one piece here. Because it'll just have to set in at that point. And then we just start running a little bit that direction. Now let's see. We go one there, and then we get to the next one that has to go in, which is number six, I believe. But yeah. Okay, how far is this going to have to go here? How far are we going to go with this? Got this going there to about here. And that might be where I start putting some cannon turrets. Will probably be a series of them here, and I don't know. The problem I'm going to run into if I try to do custom turrets is custom turrets are going to will require 2 points up, and I've only got one of these. I've only got one big uh, push up section here that's going to come up here. So the next one will probably be sticking out just a little bit, and I'd have to come up with some way to put it down here. Unless, of course, I could finagle a way around all that, which there might be a way to do that. But I do want at least 4 guns on this thing, and that's going to be interesting to figure out how to do that. That one's going there. And I do like the thinner profile of this now. So now it has a much thinner Architens-like profile than the original did. Which is going to make it a whole lot easier to... Well, it's going to make it easier to put stuff on this. Whether it makes it easier to build on is going to be a whole different story. Let's go ahead here, and we're going to add one of these all the way down. And then the next part here, I believe, are going to be these. And if I am correct, that should be the limit of the number I'm going to put there. I'm going to strap another one right there. Starting to look pretty good. Oh, it looks decent. See, this is the thing. We've got to have this stair step point right here that goes up. And that creates an issue. Let's go ahead and drop one of these in. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. And there we are with that. And where'd he go? Right there. We are. So now that's in place. At the very least, I can put a cannon right here. That's the one thing I could do. I could put a cannon here. The question is, where's the secondary cannon going to go? Let me check here real fast. Let's get a reference photo here on my phone. Okay, so 2 turrets are... One set of them is going to go right up here. Somewhere. Probably about here. The next set of turrets almost has to go right about here. Which creates an issue. But I think I can build up around that. I can do some carving, build around it, and make that work a little bit more efficiently. I just need to see how I can make that work. Like I said, pretty simple concept there. And it looks like everything's working out the way it should. So no biggie there. And we've got about the right height for this thing. So it's turning out pretty good. It's turning out decent. So yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Now this little spot right here, is that going in? Let's see if we can just pull this all up here so it'll get nice and set in there real good. And I might could pull down the rotor I'm going to use for the custom guns. Pull that down a bit so it'll sink into the deal. Or I could do that. I could set a or inset. Well, no, I can't do that. This is the problem. We don't have like a really thin thing. I feel like Dog sent you a Steam invite or something of the sort. Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. Let me check here. Let me check here. Let me check my Discord real quick. See what happened. Don't know. No clue. It's not showing up on my phone, so it must be something in game. We'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later. Right now, I gotta get this thing working. I gotta figure this out. Let's see. Let's grab some of this. If I recall, there's that. I need to just push this about as far as I possibly can right now. Okay, how many does that go? Just the one. And we're going 6. So, yeah, we've got like this one layer of full blocks that I can work with. But I'm probably going to be putting the first of the gun turrets here. And I may modify this area just so it'll hold the gun turret. And then we'll modify an area down here to hold another gun turret. And that should make everything work out perfectly. Let's see, we're going here. It's taking shape. It's just taking time. That's all. All right, let's see here. All right, all that is done, which it is probably going to take a bit more. Let me delete that real quick. There we go. And then, like I said, no, that's not what I needed. That wasn't what I was after. There it is. Right there. We've got to put a space in between all this nonsense. We may have run into our first real problem. What did I do wrong? Ah, I put an extra one there. That's why. Never mind. There we go. That's working beautifully. All that's done. Let's add some more stuff in here. Okay. We're at this point right here. Looking at this, I may stop at like a third, so that means I would have to take this up at least one more. And that might give me the space I need for a secondary turret. And then I could have 2, or I could have 4 main heavy turrets all on the battery section of this. So it would be some pretty wicked stuff right there, having this thing fully armed. A couple of quick turrets. And these are going to be the big, giant mega gun turrets that we know and love. I think I'm going to push this section up a bit more. I do want to get this area done before I really start pushing it, so I can just kind of slide that in and make all this kind of fit together good. And then there's going to be like a central, I'm thinking a central access zone somewhere here. I just don't know where it will go. But oh yeah, let's just go ahead and get this outer shell finished. So now the next thing coming in will be one of these. And I believe one of these, followed by one of these. Let's make sure we've got that correct here. It should be 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Very good. Very good. And now 6. That in there. Strap this guy in. So that means I could mount a turret here or here. And then on further back here, we could mount another turret here. How much width is that across? So there's our third point there. And this is where the next set of turrets would probably run. It would be right about there. So it would be far enough away from stuff. We could have a decent number of turrets on this. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. That's awesome. Because now I think I unplugged my microphone. My mic right now has to charge at the moment. Fun times. Let's see here. Let's see here. What's the next thing I've got to add to this? Number 6. Where's number 6? All right, there's number 6. And that we can add to here. I think the next thing coming up is this. That. Nope. And it'll be one of these. And one of those. There we go. There we go. It's working out. It's working out. Just beautifully right now. So now to here. I pull out number 4. Look at that. It is just stair stepping down beautifully. We are getting there. Closer and closer every second. So this will have this nice kind of weird janky slope looking thing going on. And if all works out, I can actually add some other stuff in here as well that'll detail it up. Yeah, that'll look pretty good. At a distance, it's looking great. We just got a little more. We got the engines all built on this thing, so it'll fly decently fast. Won't be the fastest thing in the galaxy, but it'll be quick enough. And for those that are wondering if I'm going to make this a flagship, that has crossed my mind more than once. I think it would make a grand flagship. I think it'd make a fantastic flagship. Okay. Yet again, we are just repeating things. And now for some more of this. As you can see, we're just slowly building. This is slowly coming to the end of the ordeal that we got going on. Now let's see. Put this in. I honestly, looking at it, I think I can probably jump ahead a bit. Let's just go ahead and get some stuff figured out here. And then let's see. Number 6. Right about there. Let's see if we can just get some stuff done in record time. Just speed run it a little bit here. There we go. Got all that in. Now, all we need is this piece in these areas. see right there, we're already starting to cover up some good stuff. And I've got a plan for this far end right here. We'll just, I don't know. We'll figure that one out. I think I got an idea, actually. Hang on. Let's just, go number 3. And we'll just spin her like that. And that's how that's going to go in there. And that'll fix that. So then, drop that and that. One of those. And then back to there, we can just add these in. That's all we're doing. We're just adding stuff. It's the simple part of making ships and stuff. So I'm just following this backwards. So we need 2 more. That's all I'm doing. Just following it backwards. So there. Now for the final effect. Boom. Boom. There we go. We've got that last little section right there all figured up. That's all figured up right now. And now for the next part, we got to put at least 1, 2, and 3 of these bad boys in. And then that'll finish that. 3. And then boom. That section's there finished. Or that row to there is at least finished. So then I just got to keep putting. It is turning into an Architens. It is getting there. I may have to do a little bit of work. Dog Soldier, sup? What's up, man? How you doing? Still doing the Architens. We're doing just some live stream stuff right now. Also, with these large sections here, I can actually put some corridors in that'll make everything work out pretty good. All right, now for this next part. That's going to come in right about in here. So on the next piece that's going in, all honesty, let's see, right about there. All right, all of that's done. 5, we need 1 more there. Then back to 5. Like I said, and there. No, don't do that to me. What? Building outside. I see. Yes, dog. We are building outside. We're getting it done. It's getting there. And there. So now we got that figured out. I think we're going to double that up a bit more. We're going to run 1 more row down the center and 1 more row up the side on the back. That'll narrow it down, but I'll still have that 1 area there that I can work with. And that should give me enough room to drop a custom turret here and possibly a custom turret up here. So then we can have 4 custom turrets on the top, 4 custom turrets on the bottom. And so when this thing comes in, it's all guns a-blazing at that point. Which also sets up perfectly because the Architens guns are set in a funnel, like a fatal funnel towards the ship. So that works out beautifully. And then I can work on this, do some carving, work around, build some nice, impressive hangar space and whatnot. See, right about here is where the hangars are going to be at. We've got at least 3 blocks here for hangar space, so that'll work out fine. Now we need to take this up. That has to come up. Let me see here. That needs to be there. And we need, where's this block at? There it is. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment, building all of this stuff. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. That's the block I'm needing. And then right here, that and there, and that should cause that to run into there. So now we've pulled this in. At least one more. We've got some space here. I could add one more layer, I think, and that's kind of the direction I'm kind of going at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna add. We have to add that one more layer. And also number 5 right here, I have to put that there. Now for this, I'm going to have to build a rounded section and then kind of tie that into everything so it's all airtight. But it all worked real good together once I get it done. Hang on. There. Family member is just, I got a family member who's going to pick up the kid tomorrow from school. Just one of those things. One of those little things. But yes. So now we have all of this going. We're going to be able to put another layer in here. We've got to layer in one more. One more layer. Everyone, one more layer. That's what we need. We need that layer. There it is. It's pretty easy to do this once you've figured out the pattern. You know how to do this. And as usual, all my original stuff still stands. Don't color a ship until you finally finish it up. Because that final coloring is going to determine how your ship is going to look, how it's going to feel and operate. That. And that there. Now for number 3. But yeah, like I always said, you know, when I'm talking about the rules of building a ship, however you build it, whatever methodology that you use, whether you build it from the outside in or you start from one side, whichever direction you build from, you always need to take into consideration that the build you're working on probably, and actually when I say probably, I mean more than likely, doesn't need to have the entire thing built or colored. So you don't color your entire ship. You just want to go in there and work on it. As the Mandalorians say, this is the way. And this is what we're doing. We're building a ship. But at the same time, we don't know what that ship's going to look like. We don't know if it's going to look good. If your design looks good without any color, then it'll look amazing with color. You gotta remember, the design of a ship ultimately comes down whether you're going to color it and make it look good or not, at least. It should come down to the ship looks good. Therefore, when I put color on it, it's going to look amazing. That's how it should go down. That's how it should look. There we are. Same thing with bases. Like I said, if the base looks good, if the base of your build in a single color looks amazing, the rest of it will look good. This is just how I build ships. And it works. Almost 100% of the time, it works like that. You can see right there, we are just pushing the boundaries of this. We are getting that thing done. The look is getting amazing. Because we are getting that ship look right there. We're getting that Arquitens look. That at a distance, there's no denying what ship that is. There's no denying that this is the Arquitens. There's no denying that this is something that's going to be coming down on you and just bearing down the weight. Now, when I finish up, I'm probably going to extend this and probably pull these two prongs out a bit more just to add a little more mass to it. I believe we're at 3 every time I do this. And then this. There. And get that done. Now let's see. What have we got in the middle here? All right, we're looking at 3 in the middle. That's good. And I believe everything is interconnected. Got extra support beams right about here to support everything. Problem is right about here because I think it's just best if I just start building the corridor here. Because I can cut these blocks out and I don't have to worry about the corridor getting crazy. And as I cut those out, I can start working on the docking area, the big locking collar that's on the side of the Arquitens. Arquitens has a really nice locking collar, and there are other ships in Star Wars that also have locking collars. This is one of the reasons why Star Wars vessels work so well in Space Engineers, because you have that locking collar when you get in. And honestly, this ship would look a whole lot better if I had a different set of. Well, I don't know. Since we're doing that one thing, I may just add a couple of. I could add a couple of angle blocks and just make this thing look a whole lot better. It would look good. But the angle blocks are not in pieces. If they're in pieces, it would work a lot better. It's one of the reasons why I don't use an angle block system, because that angle block system is just not going to go over well. And look at this here. I wonder if I can just build this up, because the Arquitens does have this dual thingamabob here that'll make the one thing work out. All right, I'm talking in code. Everyone's just probably looking at me like, what the frick did Badger just say? Let's work on the locking collars. Let's work on the docking collar so that we can take this thing if we put it inside of a base. Now we do have, let me check the superstructure here and make sure that we are completely caught up and locked in. And the answer appears to be yes. So we are locked in over here and over there. So we can start cutting out this section and installing the locking collars. So This is where the ship that I'm building in Space Engineers is actually much bigger than this because the one I'm welding by hand is bigger than this one. Because there's enough space. Because here's the reasoning: there's enough space right here to run a full round collar with some added supports right there. Let me see. What have I got here in terms of 1, 2, 3? I've got 3 points to get across. Hmm. Let's pull this out. Because we are going to have to do carving. Every so often, you got to do some carving. I'll put that there. And I'm going to spin that around there. And then, let's go ahead here and see if we can find... Okay, I'm going to have to add that stuff. Let's add it. Let's add some stuff in here. Where is our connectors? And where is merge blocks? I do want both. All right. First, the connectors. There. There's 2 connectors. And then from here, I can kind of build this around and make that kind of sit in there a bit and then just kind of shape it in as it goes. And then let's see. All right, that was the wrong button. Let's put a... No, that's not going to work. No, let's do it like that. That'll probably be what we have to do. And these will be the 2 like main access points to getting in here. Now, how I transition this. Let's try number 4 here. Yeah, this is turning out great. Here we go. You know, nice big giant docking collar. That's what we need. Now we want this to dock in PvP or PvE stations. So, well, that's going to be an issue. So we have all that, but I also want to put like a merge block up here. So let's go ahead real fast here. That, and number 2. And that's how you put a docking collar in, folks. Now this is actually going to work out pretty good because we can actually pull this in and start working from here like so, and just start sinking that collar in, and then we can figure out how to make everything fit together from here. So first things first, we need to put in a freaking door. Where's my doors? Number 8, we have a door. Check that out. There's a sliding door. There's an offset hatch. Now I kind of want to do this. Is use the new doors, but kind of inset it. Like so, and then we'll just kind of dip over here and add some stuff into this so it'll all work out good. May put a actually no, we're gonna pull this around, probably put a vent in one side, and then pulling further back we're gonna have a small area here for probably like a 2-step area for everything else. Actually, no, we need to pull that back in and dip over into here at this point. So that means, what is over here? That's a block that's going to have to be moved, and then I may modify this block kind of contend with this one, so we can have this nice little docking collar going on. Let's grab the stuff that we're going to need for the next deal. That's not it. Okay, we're just going to grab this here. Oh wait, one more thing I want to add. Now we're just going to connect this here so I know where this is at. There. Now we know where that stuff's going. And I now know where this singular corridor is going. So now we got this going through the ship. I just had to figure out how to seal some of this off and make everything kind of fit together real nice. With that done, then everything else should kind of fall into place. I think the best way to do that will be to somehow transition this section here into a much steeper run, and that'll run right up to there, and it'll just fit right in just perfectly. Yeah, that'll be a lot better. So now we have a docking collar on each side of the ship. We are getting the Arquitens look. It's looking great. It's looking great right now, everyone. It's looking awesome. So we got that figured out. Like I said, the Arquitens I'm building in survival right now is actually probably wider and longer than this one is. And that's probably going to be the one that I make a cruiser flagship out of. If I was going to make a cruiser flagship, because it has the size, slightly larger size than what this one is. And now that I know how to do all this crap here is just going to get a lot easier. The problem is I just got to get in there and get all the extra stuff figured out. Fun times, fun times. But this thing's actually pretty fast. We'll just take it on for a spin for a minute, see how fast it moves. Yep, Arcatin's just taking off here. Let's see. Moving ship around. Yeah, it's side to side thrust you got to worry about, but that's kind of how the Arcatens operates. It's just like you point in a direction and it takes off. It's got 3 engines. It's more than enough speed to get it moving where I need it to go. And side to side thrust is not that big a deal. Now, are we going to be able to put this thing in atmosphere? Probably not. Not unless I add a serious amount of atmospheric thrusters to this thing to make it work good. We do have some ion cruising thrusters, which are nice. Let's flip this thing over there so it's kind of, instead of it being on one side, let's just kind of pull the Arcatens over here. Just imagine this shadow looming over you. And also, in the comments, feel free to see if y'all want me to build another ship at some point. Because I do like building ships like this. Oh, no, we hit something. I didn't realize we were that close. Let's go see, I think we had some damage. We hit kind of hard. Something break? I think it appears to be broken. Okay, we've got no dents. She's looking good. She's looking good. All's well that ends well. All right. Because like I said, we've got the central pillar system here. Now I can start working on this and carving it at some point and make it look really nice. And then we can start figuring out how to run a secondary system down through here, looking at the one stuff. And then I think this is going to be like a central access point, and I'll make this kind of big and grandiose. So you have like a central point where you can come in, walk around in here, and then we'll have like main weaponry and the hangar bay over here, which will stem over into like some other weapons. I think I'm going to set in a set of Mako missile launchers and see if I can't pull off some side guns to defend this thing with. So yeah, and then the Arcatens will just get way better. So let's go ahead here and see what'll happen if I there we are. I want to see is if I can do this kind of flat. How well this will look. It doesn't look like it's going to look very good at all. It's not going to be very helpful in that sense. So I probably need to start a little bit further this way. Like so. And then we'll do the same thing we did before, which is also I need to hold on a minute, folks. I need to take a quick moment, look at my Arcatens. Well, hold on a minute. Hold on, we might could pull that off. There is a spot in here I didn't notice. This is why reference photos are so important when you're working on something like this. So it turns out it goes pretty far in. So that might actually work. put it here. And to there, because this does get up there a bit. Would that work? No, it won't. I just don't have the angles. That's the problem. I just don't have the angles. Go ahead and kick these off here. All right, all that's done. Let's see. How far forward would this have to go? We're going to probably come to about right here. This is where I'm going to start that stair-stepping effect. There we go. Check that out. That looks awesome. It's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Nope, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. I did it anyway, but I didn't want to do it. Okay, let's see. How far did I take that? Did I take that too far? Yes, I did. I took that too far. All right, let's look here. There we are. Now, put that there. And then this is the next piece I'm going to put in. There and there. So now all that is going to be easy to seal off at that point. Look over, you can actually see it go up underneath there and then start to shift up. So there we go. Check that out. That's awesome. So now that seems to work pretty darn good. I just got to figure out how to drop that down there to where it will actually fit in there and make it work good. That'll be the kicker. And then it's figuring out how to run the main area up here, finding spots with the guns, all that good stuff. It is looking really good though. From a distance, it'll look amazing. Now, when I get done, color will bring out detail. That's one of the things you can do with a ship like this. You can actually bring out the detail by adding color to it. So we can drop a little bit of color on this and it'll look amazing when I get done. The main bridge is probably going to stick out to here somewhere. So that'll give me an area I can work on. I may take a single section here and just run a stair step going up to the main bridge. I think that'll be the easiest thing to do, getting up to it. The next part here is figuring out, back to the old reference photo. Okay, so there's a secondary spine section that goes way higher up than that on the top. And that is something I do not need. to extend outward. What is that in the middle? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so the next set of turrets, if I'm looking at this correctly, which I probably am. While listening, I managed to clean my phone's charger port with a cheap chopstick I carved down. Nice. Sci-fi paint skin looks good from Dog Soldier. Yeah, that'll look good in some places. Usually that's good for detail though. So one of our turrets is going to be right here, I think. Let me check one more time here. Yes. So this is how it's going to basically go down. One of our turrets, one of our set turrets. Yeah, the ship is looking quite nice. The longer, Renegade Bundy, the longer I have the issue of getting the charger cable at just the right angle. Oh, it's about time for a new phone, dude. It's about time for a new phone. Let me tell you. Let's see here. So one of the cannons will have to go here somewhere, and I'll have to make that work. And then the secondary cannon is going to have to go over here, I believe. No, it'll have to go here. So yeah, let me see. We'll have to put one cannon here, and then the next cannon will have to go here, and I'll have to modify those areas so that it all kind of encompasses itself. Like there's more carving that's going to have to take place because just reasons. Now I cleaned the charger port of the phone and it fixed the issue. Oh, good. A little bit of something was stopping the charger cable from going all the way in. Yeah, that's it's almost like what is that one thing that they do? They go in there and they put the glue in it and it brings out like all the good stuff. So yeah. So like here is where our turrets are going to have to go. That's where our 8 main turrets are going to be located. And then we've got to work some more stuff into the Architens to get that good stuff out of it. I'm gonna leave those right there because that's where I'm gonna have to. Actually, no. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just cut that hole out right there. That's where those turrets are gonna go. Now this top part, which, if I'm looking at the reference photo, there's going to be 2 humps here. It's gonna come up, it's gonna go back, and it's gonna come right back down, opening a small area up where one of the turrets is gonna go, which means right about here there's going to be an opening between these two. Probably about this big. And then that's going to continue going down this way, which is going to probably open up into a corridor that'll open to here. Then after this, probably about another point over, it's going to come right back up, almost vertical, and then start stair stepping its way back up, and then kind of level off into here. So reality, we need, it's going to come to about here, and it's going to gradually start stair stepping down. Break here, this is going to be connected, and then it's going to start back up and go for a little bit more and then break back down again, and that's going to create basically create the funnel corridor for everything to fly into. So then that'll be done. I've just got to make that work. So let's see. Actually, no, that is a very, very frickin' steep slope that is going to be, well, no, it's a very shallow slope actually. That's going to have to go down to almost the full length of the ship. Oh, that's going to be fun to do. So where is the... Okay, so right about here is where that's going to be. And that's where the main ship point, everything else is going to kind of pop up. And that's where we're going to get our big boy coming in here. That's where we're going to get the main bridge and everything. So now I'm going to say oh, that's going to be fun. No, I'm going to say it's got to go. Let's grab this. We'll drag this out a bit more. Why is one block just doesn't want to do what I want it to do? Two. Take it down two at a time. I think I've got this. This whole stair-stepping crap. Nope, I spoke too soon because that's got to go. Ooh, it's got to be longer. Let's see, how long is this from there? Let's do it 3. Get back into the live stream here so I can see what everyone's saying. Renegade Bundy, what kind of turrets are you going to make, or will it be assault Gatling cannon turrets? Yeah, probably the assault Gatling cannon. Custom combo turrets would work well. Gatling AC turrets, 800 millimeter, and AS railguns for 1400. Yeah, I think the long range weapon I'm going to put on here is probably 2 missile launchers that I can just weld up and then launch missiles out that battery section, and then I'm going to have a couple of side turrets that are probably about 4 side turrets pointing out, 2 on each side, that'll lock on and shoot at things, and then we're going to have a twin barrel custom, which each barrel section, if I can pull it off. If not, we'll have like a 9-round cannon turret that when this thing comes into position, it'll just slap the crap out of something real quick and just be like, yeah, quit that. That's the whole purpose of that thing will be. We're gonna go 3 this time. Let's do that. Let's do 3 this time. 1, because we did 2 last time. And now comes 3, and that is still not enough. Holy crap. What is the drop rate of that? That is going to have to be 4 all the way across. Right, we're not missing anything. Okay, yeah. We're not missing anything down here. Hold up. Let's get up on top of the Arctins here. How many are we going from here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're just gonna have to do 4. We're just gonna have to do 4 because that's the only way this is gonna work. I guarantee it. 1, 2, 3, and 4 because we need to keep that 1 point up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we are, where the turret's at. this will have to drop right in there. Yep, that's just going to have to drop right there. Like so. Check that out. So now that main battery point right there is going to come across. And then right after we exit this area, a secondary section is going to have to come up. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have all this kind of just fit together real fast. There we go there, and there we go there. Look at that. Now we're talking. Now it's taking shape. Now we look like a freaking ship from Star Wars. And I will probably grab this section here and I'm going to pull it out just a bit more. Just because I can. There we go. That section looks a little beefier now. That's pulled out there kind of far. That'll work just nicely. Now we got that section done. Now I need to look and figure out where this next part's going to go. Renegade Bundy. How hard would it have a piston deployed auto turret that retracts back into the hull for us for the next set of missiles to be welded on? It wouldn't be that difficult. I just have to use the what is that one script? The what is it? What is it? What is it? The God, I know this one. It's one of the whips. It's one of the improved turret scripts. And that's really the only one you would need, in all reality. Let me look here. I think I can add. No, that's not what I need. I need this one. There we go. Let me see here. Is that how far I need to go? Yeah, that pretty much does it for that. Okay then. There we go. Arc 10 is looking better. Better and better every minute. All right, that's doing good. Kind of like how some War Thunder tanks semi retract their tow missile rack to reload it. Renegade Bunny. Oh, okay. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Like the tow missile rack, where it kind of lifts the missile out and it kind of opens up and then launches the missile. Yeah, that is something you could do. And it would work. Don't get me wrong. Like right here, this is just getting better. Yeah, so we've got this central area done, and the upper area of this ship is basically finished. We'll have to work on the bottom section here, adding in a couple more turrets. And then there's an undersection here that just about will have to be I'll have to redo this, pull it down, run it across, and that's where probably refinery and storage will probably go, or main storage. Like right in here, I've just got this area just for giggles at the moment, and I can cover that up with some plates, and it'll be kind of airtight, be a little airtight, somewhat airtight. But yeah, the Architin's getting better. Eventually, we're going to be able to lock some guns onto it, make her look amazing. Yeah, she's getting a lot better. She's looking a lot better. Um, Eventually, when this gets done, I'll probably the one that I'm probably going to use is the one that I'm building in actual survival mode. I'll probably grab it at some point and just work on it in my spare time, get it built up, and then that'll be the monster that we bring into survival mode probably for the survival game that we're doing. Which, by the way, folks, more of that is coming out on the week. It's coming out weekly. I'm pulling up more. I still got way more. I'm gonna probably drop 2 more videos tomorrow morning and try to drop another 2 in the afternoon because, dear Lord, I have to try and get that done, and it's just not getting done as quick as I'd like it to. And with that, I would actually have a whole lot of stuff finished. So I'll get all that done, and then we'll have most of those will be up and running. And then all I've got to do really is get or start recording the next day. Which, by the way, Bundy, I do have. I got my internet fixed. I think I told you about that. The thing that annoys me about Google is I will sit there and say, "Hey, I need to redo this," and Google will be like, "Yeah, what's your password?" And I put in my password, and Google's like, "Yeah, this ain't your password." And then I will sit there, go through the entire process, wait 24 hours to get confirmation that it is me trying to get into my own system. And then it comes up and it says, "Okay, how would you like to set your new password?" And I'll type in my new password, and the first damned thing Google says is, "Yes, you can't. Your new password cannot be your old password." And it's like, mother effort, you're the one that started this crap. Okay, you're the one that did this. I was perfectly fine with the password that I had, and you didn't want to accept my password. That wants to be a dick, and it's asinine. Half the thing Google does is asinine nowadays. It's just almost a worthless thing to have at this point. But like I said, the Architens is turning out pretty good. Yeah, yeah, that'll be the that's how that we'll just have like a light cruiser in this, and then eventually, I don't know, I may do something bigger. I may do something way bigger. I don't know what that'll be. So y'all might be able to hop in the comment section and tell me what the next big build we should do. I think I'm just gonna do some Star Wars builds for a bit because these are looking really good, especially with the designs and stuff that we've got. This one I think will be the one that I build here, and I think I'll grab the big one that I'm working on in survival because for some reason the survival map that I'm doing is not giving me any more suits. So I'm gonna have to look through. I don't know if I've got too many, and the system is just not giving them to me or what. So that's one thing. But yeah, we're just doing these little build streams, and I'll probably do another one now that I got my Google working. The Google account system is now working, so now I can actually take from like Bundy's point of view. And so the next game we're gonna do the video we're gonna do. We're gonna jump in real hard. So this is what we're doing basically, guys. We're gonna jump in real hard. We're gonna knock out the any building and preparation we need to jump in and do something else. And then we're gonna do some serious piracy, meaning we're gonna probably pick an enemy at random, fly the bounty out there, and we're gonna be doing like either me or Bundy are going to be operating the bounty, and then the other one is going to be launching the attack because it's going to be leading the Marines in because that'll break up everything to where we can do a little bit of fighting, do a little bit of other stuff. We can, I think we'll probably put a series of harpoon guns onto the front of the bounty so that we can take that blade on the front and just shoot it out there, grab hold of what we're wanting to mess with, and just pull it in, lock it right into place on the bounty, and then we can start tearing it apart. We'll probably build a couple of fighters, probably a couple of gladiuses. And I am reconvening, like the gladius is probably going to be season one's fighter. We're going to be using that a lot, and maybe the ball turrets that, or the ball mobile suits that um, Grexion's built. And then eventually me and Grexion need to get together, and we're probably going to build a new, more advanced, more terrifying fighter, something that is going to be a little difficult to mass produce, but once produced, ooh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be that nightmare machine that is going to make like the faction. It's going to be the faction's main killer, and we're going to be able to just fly in there, drop this thing, and just start tearing into opponents and everything, tearing into other ships and everything. It'll just be that nightmare machine that we can send out there. So that'll be a good thing going in. Let's see. Any update on the server host for the survival series? I'm trying to figure out a hosting thing. I haven't gotten a hold. I'm gonna ask Gomer if he's got the time to do it. I just haven't had a chance to ask him. It's like with the snowstorm and everything else, I've been swamped. Like the last couple of days have been me just finally able to sit down and just do something I want to do. Like I actually sat down today and started working on there's a story idea I've had, and I have a kind of a paleo fantasy thing that I've had in my mind for the last year, and I've worked out the entire story finally. Outlined it a couple months ago, and I'm currently trying to get the first chapter done because this is kind of it kind of took precedent over everything else. So now I'm trying to get a hold of it and finish it and get it done. And it has just been one of those things, just been very difficult to get to get it figured out and done, and all that nonsense. And what is going on over here? I want to look at something real quick while I talk. How is it? Oh, I see. Oh, no. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm done. I'm gonna leave it. I accidentally slapped that there and accidentally just slapped the next piece and it did not do that properly. And so now this whole section's messed up. Hmm. I can leave it alone. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. I'll have to fix that. I'll have to fix it later. I can't do it tonight. I'll fix it later. But yeah, let's do like an overhead look at the Architens from the top. So you can see, yeah, it is looking like the Architens. It's getting there. We've got a nice elongated Architens. Um, if I can, I my plan is to eventually get it there. To get to a server concept, even if I have to pay for it myself. So I'm gonna see if Gomer can run it because here's the reason I wanted to see if Gomer can run it is because Gomer knows more about that than I do. And if I have to do it, I will have to learn how to do it. And that is going to be fun on my part. Trying to learn something like that. If not, I don't think I'll. If it doesn't look like I'll have to do that, then I'll do it. But if I have to do it, if I don't have to do it, then yeah, we'll probably just hop in on Gomer's deal and go from there. But if it turns out Gomer can't do it and I have to do it, then fine. I'm more than willing to jump in there and do it myself. So, and I don't know. I may try to figure out a way if if Gomer ends up doing it for me, and he's like, yeah, I've got a server. I'll let y'all just borrow it, and he's like a Chad about that sometimes. If he does that, I will probably try to find a way to send him some cash and just pay for the server myself and just let him like just kind of do some modifications. I don't think he'll have to do a whole lot to it. Like all he'll have to do is just set the server up for us with the mods. I don't have a whole lot of crazy mods, and we'll just go from there. That way it won't freak everything out and the whole system won't lose its mind. But anyway, yeah, that's the problem with the server. I just haven't had a chance to talk to Gomer about it, and I will. I'll just have to figure out when that's gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, so we're doing that, and I don't know. I think that kind of works out right there. I'm almost afraid to touch it. I think I'll leave it. I may leave it. I may not leave it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like I said, the Arc-10's looking pretty good, and I've got all the other stuff. I bring it up because your PC is struggling to run the pirate survival world at the moment. Yes, it is. It is because we've got a base we're working on. We're tearing some voxels out. Um, we've got a lot. If nothing else, I think probably I was going to live stream Friday night. I may just see if I can hook up with Gomer on Friday. I'll just message him tonight before I go to bed and see if he's going to be available, and we'll jump in there. I'll get him all the mods that we're using, which isn't a crazy amount of mods. And I think I've got all the mods we essentially are going to need to do stuff, and then we'll just run that on the server because the server is running a star system, so we can go wherever we want, whenever we want. That'll work out. And yeah, my PC is just it gets warm doing that now. So what we do is we all hop in onto a game, and we're all just basically doing a pirate run, figuring some stuff out, and we've reached a point where things are getting kind of hot on the PC side. So I do need to figure that out, and I may just find a way to get Gomer some cash and just go from there. But anyway, yeah. So if we can get that done, maybe eventually we can bring in the Architens, and I'd like to get in the asteroid and just kind of drill out an area of the asteroid, just kind of cut it out, and just have a either a big hangar bay for the Architens to just kind of set itself into, or something else. And I don't know. We may eventually get to a vendor because a vendor would be what now, three, four times this in terms of size, and I could build some engines that'll move a vendor. I could build the vendor's engines. That would not be an issue. That might not be an issue at all. But yeah, that's the fun part about it. It helps that it is mostly hollow. Yes, it does help that it's mostly hollow. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be the right now. This is one of the Architens that I'm building. I'm probably going to go with the other one. I may modify this one a bit because it's this one's turning out really good. The one in survival is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit wider and a little bit bigger, and I'm kind of wanting to. I may blueprint that one real quick, bring it into this. Well, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick. We have the time. We have the time. Let's hop on out of here real quick. Morgan Trial. Hello there. Hello, man. We have gotten a lot done. I believe this is it. Yeah, I believe this is it. We'll hop in here. I'll blueprint this and take it into the other world, and we'll do a size comparison real quick. because I am almost willing to bet that the Architens I have here is actually a little bit bigger than the Architens that I have in the creative mode that I'm working on. And that be the case, I may just work on it, or I may work on both of them. Like one of them I'm going to put up there as like the one that I built in the deal to build, and then the other one is the one I will probably turn into um, the actual unit. Let's go. Okay, come on. I don't know. They might be about the same. Let's find out. We're gonna just okay, rename. Oh, everything is frozen at the moment. Hang on. Gotta wait a minute. I might have jacked everything up. Let's see. Yeah, everything's taking a minute to render. There we go. We'll do that and hop out of here. Now, mind you, I've been building this one in just straight survival settings with a hand welder. Okay, we'll hop back in here and I'll drop the one Architens in and the other Architens in, and we'll see. I think one of them's bigger than the other. I want to say that one of them's bigger than the other. Flying out here, and this should be far enough. Yeah, so it's not a whole lot is done on this thing. And then we'll just copy this one and bring it over. And then I can get an accurate size comparison of this. I'm going to say it's slightly bigger. Let's see here. Um, okay, that's interesting. Let me grab the sun here real quick. Why it doesn't move. Well, shucks, I put all those in the wrong light. So the engines are about the same, but it looks like. Oh man, I wish I could delete a rock somewhere. It looks like this Architens is actually longer. And apparently I didn't, it's apparently not as wide as I thought it was. Somehow this Architens has a much smaller docking collar than this one. and or narrower docking collar. I guess we're going with this one. This I guess we're not doing the survival one. Plus, I need to hop out of survival anyway because it's not doing what I want it to do. So I guess this one's actually bigger. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Arc-10s we're going to be using. This is going to be the flagship. At least for now, this is the cruiser we're going to use. And that'll work out just fine. I actually that'll be good. I can hop out of that one because I've got a whole bunch of suit stuff I've gone through, and I need to go through that and see what all I can get. I'm trying to get more suit stuff. I'm gonna have to do like another survival and just probably start a survival, plop in like a small little easy to run ship that'll run everything I need, and then just kind of like shoot through and just collect all that stuff while I'm doing it and see how much I can get. There's a lot of suits I don't have, and I'm trying to collect all of them. And probably just build like a small mini survival Corvette. Ooh, that'd be cool. I should build the Counselor class Corvette and use that. Tell me in the comment section if you guys want me to build the Counselor. But yeah, if you guys are finding the channel right now and you're enjoying what you're watching at the moment, be sure to, like I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and that'll make that tells YouTube that this is something you want to watch, that you're enjoying it, and YouTube will suggest you more of the content that's on the channel. The other thing that is going to be coming on here is with the comments, with everything that's happening right now. Uh, I am going to at some point try to figure out some multi-streaming because YouTube apparently does not like the channel. Like they've always not liked the channel, but they are really hammering the channel now. I have noticed that I'm having a much harder time in the algorithm dealing with everything else. They're just not handling things. It's annoying because me and the guys get in here, we work. I think part of the reason also is I leave the comments pretty well open. People can come in and just say whatever they want, and YouTube kind of frowns on that. On top of that, YouTube also doesn't like some of the stuff we say on here. So I don't know. I'm thinking about Kick because Twitch has its own problems, and Kick is actually pretty good. It doesn't mean that the live streams are going to leave here. We're still going to be streaming on this. I'm just going to figure out how I can get all the comments where I can see them on channel, and then that way I can see everyone's comments and I can talk about it. I think there's a way I can do this to where I can actually see it on when I record my screen. You guys can actually see the comment section on the side of the screen too. So that'll be coming in real time with me. And then on top of that, I can open up multi-streaming to a whole nother area and maybe do some revenue runs on Kick. So it's like building up revenue and everything, which is fun. Which is fun. It's always fun to do like revenue stuff. And I've got other things planned. I've got a lot of things I'm working on. Like it's not I'm trying to kill myself by doing extra stuff. It's that I have to do something or else I will lose my mind about some of the things I've had to deal with over the years. I'm just like me and the missus are sitting there half the time. We're just talking about some of the crap we're having to do, and we're just like a lot of times it's I can't win for losing. A lot of times, but it's not anything crazy going on. It's just like, I'm doing this. If I can get a little extra money out of it, yeah, let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can make a little extra cash out of it. And it's not necessary to, which by the way, also considering making cash, if you guys want to support the channel, uh, as always, like super chats are always open. Y'all can super chat if you want. I will read, and I think really the super chats are not a big deal because not a lot of people are watching the live streams, which is okay. Which is okay. Space Engineers is this is the thing that irritates me about Space Engineers. This is a game that should wholeheartedly be competing with Minecraft, honestly, and not a lot of people know it exists. And I'm just like, come on, guys. This is one of the best games ever made, and a lot of people just don't know it exists. But that being said, I would love to get on to. I think Kick is going to be the best way to do it. Just get on Kick, introduce a bunch of people, space engineers, and have a lot of people just sitting back going, "What is this game?" I love it when people ask that question. What is this game? What is this game you're playing, man? It's wild. It's space engineers. One of the best games made. It's made by a company that they make mistakes, but 9 times out of 10 they do really cool stuff, and that's what we're playing. We all like to play this game. Build anything you want. The way I've dealt with some people who talk about, they ask, well, why is space engineer so interesting? Why do y'all think it's so cool? And I just look at them and go, okay, name a sci-fi. Pick your favorite sci-fi. Just pick one. They pick their favorite sci-fi, and then I hop on there and I start pulling up videos of, hey, look, it's your favorite sci-fi. It's it's Star Trek, it's Star Wars, it's Homeworld, it's Stargate Atlantis. You just start pulling up all the ships and be like, yeah, man, you can hop in here, build your own ship, go out there and start flying it around. And that's the thing that gets people. They're like, bro, I can build something. You can't build something and fly it in Minecraft. Yeah, you can here. You can do an airship server. I've actually thought that would be a pretty cool one, doing an airship server. And the rules would be the airships have to be solar powered and use atmospheric thrusters. So then you have to build your solar panels like sails, and you got to make the ship sail. And then that's where the other problem comes into play is when you're doing piracy actions, you've got to take out those solar panels, which start. You can still have batteries to charge up everything and keep it flying, but you start having someone start attacking the system, start tearing into your flight systems and everything else. And you have to build everything kind of light, but you have like big flying ships and all that stuff. I think I'm going to build a Consular class Corvette, and I'm going to use that as my survival ship in when I'm looking for more ships or suits. But yeah, I'm rambling right now. It's late. I'm rambling. I need to get to bed real quick because my kid is actually getting up now. We'll read through some more comments. Let's see. How's y'all's night going from Morgan Child? It's been great. Look at what we all got done. We got the almost all the outer shell done, and we figured out where the main turrets are going to be placed. That's one thing. Looks like it's a bit longer than the creative. Looks like a bit longer than the creative mode version. Actually, no. This is the creative mode version. Um, and it is actually longer than the version that I am making in survival. So this is probably what we're going to work with. I was looking at it and thinking, oh man, I really like this to be the one I would use. There's going to be some stuff I'm probably going to move some stuff around. For one thing, the thrusters. I don't like where the thrusters are at. I will probably move those around. Not the main thrusters. The main thrusters are fine. It's the sub thrusters and where the tanks are at. I will probably move those. It's like how the Imperial version is smaller than the Republic one. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be like I was building this to be the command version. This is probably going to be if we're doing the Pirate's Life thing and we ever get the chance to build something, this is probably what we're going to build. We're probably going to build this thing up. And what I might do is once I get all the piping figured out, I will probably make two blueprints. I'll make one which will be all of the pipe work that will be done for this cruiser, for putting everything everywhere. And then the second one, I'll gut the inside of this and make it a shell. So then we can build all the piping, weld all that up, all the engines, everything, weld all that stuff up. And then the outer shell, all the armor paneling and everything else, that'll just be welded on secondary. We can just go in there with the ship and just weld it all up and make it all look good. That'll be the way that'll work out. And I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it because then I can get some interiors done and everything else, and everything will start looking right. And that way, everything. Or I may do a semi-skeletal build where we'll have like one uh, blueprint will be skeletal. So I'll figure out probably cut this thing and make a skeletal version of it, and then we'll do a secondary version where the third version where we put a lot of the internals in and build all the corridors and all that nonsense. And then a final build where all the pieces will be put together and then it'll all look nice. But yeah, that'll be one of those things that goes in there. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, guys. That's the thing that helps channel the most. YouTube does not seem to fight that. When you guys, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when y'all hop in here and you do the liking and the commenting and all that nonsense, YouTube has a very tough time with those videos. Those videos, if they get a lot of likes and comments, and that's this thing, hop in there and just talk about whatever you want. The comment section is free. I'm not going to censor anything. YouTube can come to me and be like, oh, who's that one bitchy wizard that's in Harry Potter, where she comes in there and she's like an absolute racist towards muggles. But she looks like a psycho Mary Poppins. Like they come in there and they bitch at me probably all the time about all the stuff about leaving the comment section open and everything, but I do it anyway. I don't care. Um, that's the thing about the channel. I was always of the mindset of I'm never going to mess with the comment section, so you guys can't say what you want. So go ahead, go hop in there, speak your mind, talk about some cool stuff in the comment section. That really helps, especially like tonight with the comment section on the comments here, the likes that I get for the channel, for the live stream, that'll really push it up. And that's the easiest way to help. Don't do it just for me. Do it for everyone else that's on here because YouTube keeps making changes. I'm sitting here like at this point in time, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this is annoying because all I want to do is I just want to make a video and just go on. I want to make some cool stuff, do my thing, and then just in, have a video pop up that people like. But YouTube can't allow that. YouTube just can't leave stuff alone. So that's a problem right there. So yeah, it affects content like this, and YouTube's pushing. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some multi-streaming at some point. I'm gonna figure out how to stream in here and Kick. I'm not gonna stream on Twitch because uh, Twitch is just like anal right now when it comes to their creator base. And yeah, like I said, doing more of this. Plan on doing a Machinima series at some point in time if I can ever figure out Machinima. I'm trying to figure that out. I think I've got an idea for something, but it's going to take some time to, get it up, get to working on it, figure it out, make it work. So I'm going to have to go that route. But yeah, like I said, and also don't forget the all the extra stuff, like all the videos that I put up when they're early. Those are like 99 cents a month. You guys can just hop in there less than $1. It buys a Dr. Pepper. That's all it is. It's mostly I've been doing this, and I will say why I've done this. I started monetizing the channel. I didn't want to ever monetize because I was like, the moment I monetize, I am going to be at war with YouTube. We are going to lock. We're going to lock up. We're going to lock horns. We're going to start tearing into each other. And the reason I started doing it was I had a situation happen with my headset, and it my headset went out, and it was like a tight run, and I was looking at it thinking, oh crap. Or no, it wasn't just the headset. The headset was after I did that. It was when my PC, I downloaded a game that wasn't off Steam, and I got something in my system, and every time my PC would get going, I could not get to the defragmentation. It would just fragment the PC system more, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse to where the PC would just crash. And I talked to a friend of mine. He was like, "Yeah, if you don't, you're gonna have to delete everything off the computer, take it back to factory settings and reload it back up because he was like, I can't get into it fast enough before this thing shuts down. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, I have a channel I'm doing, and that's the obligation. The obligation is I've been doing this for a while and I like doing it. But you run into that situation where as you are working on the channel and suddenly something happens, your PC just goes down. My PC is like a $2,000 PC. There's no way right now I could replace it. And that's the plan with the monetization of the channel is to build enough money up that if something breaks, and that was almost immediate. Like the first time I got paid from the Google account thing, I think it was $125. Within 1 week, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But and my wife was sitting there going, she's like, "Are you sure this will help your channel like pay for something?" She said, "Because it doesn't seem like it's going to pay for anything very quickly." And I was like, "Look, it's going to pay for something because at some point I'm gonna lose something and I'm gonna need this." And within 2 days, my headset, I was sitting there listening. I was playing, I think, Helldivers, and my headset just went and was gone. And I'm like, oh no. And I went to bed. I was sick. I completely forgot I got paid from you for the YouTube stuff. I completely forgot that you guys had watched stuff while I had monetized and taken your time and gotten me some. I tell people all the time this also. I was like, this is this. Y'all don't have to be here. You choose to be here. So, and I'm sitting there. I'm like laying in bed and I'm like sick to my stomach. And I get up the next morning. My wife's like, okay, babe, what's wrong with you? So you're like, you're about to lose your mind. I said, man, my stupid headset just died. I said, I don't have the $100 to pay for it. And she goes, what are you talking about? I thought you got $100 the other week from YouTube. And I was like, no, I didn't. She goes, yeah, you did. It's over there. You were telling me about it, and I pulled up my phone. She said it was on your phone. You were showing it to me, and I pulled it up and looked, and oh wait, there's $120. That $120 paid for the headset that I'm using right now. So that's how I got this mic. And right now, I just let the money just build up. It's not much. It doesn't build up much, but it covers small expenditures. Like if I ever need another headset, I've got the money right now to buy another headset at the very least. If I need a new keyboard, I've got that. It's like the small stuff, like if my mouse goes out, my keyboard goes out. Hope to God that doesn't happen. I've got the money to go in there and just fix it now. So the monetization just because when you're doing something like this, you need cash to keep it going because you have those unknown expenditures that just pop up. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, you're driving a company car, everything is nice, but then suddenly you have that unknown expenditure of the tire blew, so we've got to go buy more tires. And a lot of people don't understand that. That sometimes you have those moments where things just crap out and you have to go in there and you have to spend a little cash and fix it. And that's why I would tell people also, if you're doing YouTube, this is also why other creators tell you guys, don't quit your day job until YouTube is making your bills. You don't quit the day job because while you are doing YouTube, there are things, if even if you buy the entire system up, one lightning strike can knock out your mic, it can knock out your computer, it can knock out anything. And that happens a lot more than you think. And that's one of the reasons why I started monetizing the channel was I realized real quickly that yes, this is a problem. I am going to lose equipment and I have to eventually replace equipment. So we're going to have to do that. Also, I may buy games at some point. There's usually what I do is I don't touch 100 of the money that I make, but there's always extra. Like it'll be like 120 or 110. It just registers a payout, and then anything I make during that month, that's just added on as a bonus. That helps out with a lot of things. Yeah, YouTube isn't paying your bills. Your day job is. Yeah, it is. Morgan Trial. Do you mean umbrage? Um, Depends. I noticed that comment and I've completely forgot where I was because I was rambling and that comment has been there, Morgan Trial. So just give a little explanation. I'll try to of what you were asking and I'll try to get to it. But like I said, the YouTube the payment aspect of it, it's mostly just here to keep the channel running. That's it. That's all it's doing. And it doesn't pay a lot. Right now I'm running on the ad revenue and I probably could make more on ads if I put more than 3 ad spots in my videos. But then the videos would be unwatchable. If I let Because I've done the ad space system and just kind of seen how YouTube would say that would be the best way to do it. And they will put 60 something ads inside of a 20-minute video. And I'm like, when are y'all supposed to watch the video? Because really, I have thought about being a dick. This is me wanting to do a dick move. Okay. This is me wanting to do a dick move. I almost want to go to change.org. And I know nothing really usually comes of change.org, but I almost want to go to change.org. Not because I think it'll do anything, but because I just want to be a dick at this moment and start a petition on change.org to make it a federal crime by the FCC to put an ad on a social media site that is longer than 5 seconds and is unskippable. I think I could get enough signatures for that. I am almost. to the point of pulling that bullshit off. Let me let me see. You were asking about the witch in Harry Potter that looks like crazy Mary Poppins and is super racist. Umbridge. Miss Umbridge. Yes, 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 yes. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. My wife is, so I know some stuff about Harry Potter. Just like she knows some baseline lore of like Star Wars, and I am like, we'll be sitting there and she'll go, so why is Anakin acting all weird right now? Oh, Anakin has been like, repressed, has to repress his emotions and everything else, and he's sexually frustrated by Padme and all that other nonsense. And he's about to lose. He's now free from all that, and he's crashing out basically to explain all that. And then we go in there and do that one stuff, and she'll be watching Harry Potter. I'm like, okay, what is going on here? Why don't they just I don't know, do this or that with what's his name? Then I found out about the Horcruxes. I was like, oh, damn, that's actually well thought out. It's like I'm over here watching Voldemort win, and I'm just like taking notes. Okay, yep, yep, yep. We got to use this at some point in time. A country has banned non-skippable ads that last longer than 5 seconds from Renegade Bundy here. Also, has made it a crime to hide the button used to close the ad. Oh yes, we need that in the United States. Like I said, I'm almost to the point of just being like, yep, yep, I'm sick and tired of, because this is what I'm sick of. I don't care about the ads. I don't care about the ads at all. I really wouldn't care. It's the fact that we've gotten to a point where we've gotten to a point with the ads where I will be watching a video, I'll be listening to music, and I have like a 5 minute video of listening to all I want to do is just listen to Powerwolf, Raise Your Fist Evangelist. That's all I want to do. And the first commercial that comes on there is a 30-minute video of just bullcrap. Now I'll tell you something that's pissing me off. There's some dude that's decided he wants to be a country singer, and he has bought a whole bunch of ad space, and I am so sick and tired of hearing his songs. I do not want to buy any of his CDs. I don't want to buy any of that crap. One, the songs are kind of trash. I don't like them. It's not my version of country music. I'm more Toby Keith, Beer for My Horses crap, and he's more of the let's talk about all the depressing things that happens to a kid in a small town. I don't care about that. I lived it. I don't care. But the other problem is he will drop a 5 6 minute song before the song I'm wanting to listen to, and that ticks me off. But the one thing that really, really makes me mad is when I am sitting there doing like I'm wanting to listen to a video or something, and right in the middle of the video, up will pop this corporate PowerPoint presentation bullcrap where they want to sit there and talk about, hey, here we are today for such and such for the company of Bullshit LLC. And we're here to show you our latest slop product that helps us organize and help you maintain your massive corporate business. And I'm sitting here just like I'm driving down the road and can't touch my phone at that moment because my wife doesn't let me touch my phone. And I'm listening to this stupid PowerPoint presentation for like 30 fucking minutes. And I'm just thinking, why in God's name would I need to know this crap? I don't have a massive LLC. I don't have this nonsense going on. I don't need this product. That product is not for me. That's that's some corporate guy going, "Hey, let's put this on YouTube and just smell our own farts for a few minutes." It's so irritating. And there are days I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you know what? That change.org petition is looking a whole lot nicer every day. I just want to do it just to spite them. It's there is not a point. I don't care if it does nothing. I kind of want to do it just to spite them. And the more I have to see those damn commercials when they want to put in there like, listen to our PowerPoint presentation of this new AI crap that we're putting into systems. I'm like, I don't give a flying frick about your PowerPoint presentation. I don't care about that stuff. What I want to do is I want to listen to my frickin' songs. That's what I want to do. But I can't do that because you idiots won't get off my system. That's irritating. Hey, Morgan Trout here. Voldy can't do nefarious things if he doesn't have a body, though. Yes, yes, I noticed that. I noticed that. That was something that my wife also explained to me on that. My wife and my kid are big into Harry Potter. My kid loves the idea of being in Ravenclaw. So, and I'm just like, you can do it. I'm not like some adults who sit there and tell my kid, no, you're not going to watch this because I don't understand it. And I look it up, make sure nothing's stupid, make sure there's nothing wrong with it, and then after that, I don't care. I tell her to watch it and everything else, and just make sure nothing bad happens. And she's a good kid. She does pretty good on that. If I could just get her to do her damn homework and stop screwing around, that would be great. But anyway, yeah. But that's the big problem with all the stupid nonsense they keep throwing up there, and I'm just sick of it now. I'm like I don't want to deal with this crap. It's also another reason why I'm planning on going from Google to Linux. I've thought about I'm watching right now because they're talking about new graphics cards. By the way, for y'all that are wondering, they're supposed to be bringing back like one of the 30 series graphics cards because they're taking all the 40s and 50s and 60 series and putting them in AI. And so some of the companies are saying, "Hey, we still got the 30 series. They're cheap to make now. We're going to put them out there so gamers still have something." 30 series is really about it's good enough. And also I got to looking it up online. Some I was talking to a friend of mine that does like, you know, voodoo stuff, who does things on the internet. It's almost like voodoo magic. And he was like, yeah, you could just buy two 30, I think it's like 3060s or something like that, and you could daisy chain them together and you could get like a 60 something out of it. And I was like, wait, what? That's a thing? He goes, yeah. He said one of them can handle rendering distance and the other one can handle rendering graphics in the bottom. And they basically just run together like that. You daisy chain them, link up a system, and he said, yeah, you probably could get AI to write the coding for the system to run all that stuff based on the video game you got. He said it'd be like a mod adding to it. And I was like, oh, huh. About to be like that guy that's sitting there asking if I have enough memory, and then everyone in the comment section's asking him, what the fuck is a petabyte, and how the hell did you get four of them? Just RAM is going to be my biggest problems right now. Let's keep going in here. Morgan Traum. That's why I use Firefox for YouTube on my phone and install its ad block extension so I don't have to hear that shit. Oh, how do you have Firefox on your phone? I'm gonna look that up. I gotta figure that out. Do I have to pay for the ad block? Because that would be awesome. Yeah, I heard some 30 series that are better than the 40 series. Yes, yes, 30 series is actually pretty good. Really, really, I can tell you all this right now. If you look at older video games and you look at the graphic settings on there, they are much better than everything yet now. One of the problems with that is they put I'm just rambling right now at the moment, so just forgive me y'all for this. I know I need to get off, but I'm just rambling at the moment. But a lot of the 30 series is actually and the graphics that runs on the 30 series, those games are actually much better built than games nowadays, and they're more optimized. Like I'm messing around with Unreal Engine, and I can tell you part of the problem with video games nowadays made in Unreal Engine. I can tell you what the issue is. They will take an asset, and I notice this when I will take an asset and put it into the game, the performance starts to drop very rapidly. And after a while, I get to looking, it's because a lot of people they build the assets and they don't optimize them a lot. And people have this idea that Unreal Engine is just drag in a whole bunch of new, just get a whole bunch of stuff, put that stuff in there, and then system run good. If I built a game, I would build the framework and everything first, and then I would probably hire somebody to come in and professionally just optimize everything because that optimization system that goes in there, that's something that's really going to make a big difference. It's also in how you do lighting and everything else. There are ways of faking ray tracing that actually work from back in the day and make things look absolutely gorgeous. Like if you guys don't know what how awesome games were, PlayStation 2 era, okay? PlayStation 2 era had a game called Kinetica, and there were some chicks in. There were a couple of the female characters in Connecticut that could give 2B a run for her money graphics wise, if you know what I mean. Okay, just some near automata right there. There were a couple of chicks in there that could give 2B a run for her money, and that was a game my mom didn't like me playing. She knew that stuff was in there, but at the same time, she was like, "Well, I don't like that that's in there, but it's not blood and gore." So I was like, "Yeah, that's not the worst thing I could play." My mom's like, "Well, like, is that a game you should be playing?" And I always look over and I'm like, "There are worse things I could be playing, Mom. I could be killing a hooker and taking her money after screwing her in the back of a car in GTA 5." She goes, "Yeah, I guess you're right." Goes on with it. Still talk to my mom to this day. No, just yeah. Well, Helldivers, Renegade Bundy here. Helldivers 2 is one of the most optimized games currently out. Yeah, I mean the optimizations just kind of made that game perfect. Like it's so playable now. You can hop on. Like I couldn't believe it that they dropped that thing almost to about a third of the size. And even the new updates that are coming out are wildly. They're they're quickly proving to everyone in this industry that hey, you know what? If players are asking you for stuff, it's not because they want to be mean. We actually want the optimizations. We want this stuff done so we can our system runs better. Renegade Bundy again here. The fact that they managed to slim it down by almost a third its original size just shows how unoptimized it was. Yeah, that was just. I think mostly that's just crunch time. They finally just sat there and realized, hey, this is a problem. We need to go in there and fix it. And they went in there and fixed it, and everyone loves them for it. It's like, oh, hey, there's another reason I'm going to get on Helldivers and go f up a couple of bugs or something like that because hey, we actually they actually did something right. Morgan Trial, the best era. Oh yeah, like one of the best games that's ever been made was some of the best games that were on there were on PS2, PS3, and PS and PlayStation was just dominating for the longest time because they were pulling out the good stuff. Killzone, dear God, I wish that series had come back. Killzone was just killing it back in the day. Oh, good Lord, Killzone was awesome. Like old school Killzone, the first three games were awesome. And then after that, it just kind of went up, fell off a cliff. Yeah, we can just fight such a large swarm of enemies and there is zero to no lag at all. Yeah, better than what it first was because usually the enemies that come up and you start having skip moments, you be like, or you just pull it like on my PC right now, running a 10 NVIDIA 1060 on mine. Uh, Helldivers runs great on that. Like optimization kind of proves you don't need a massive graphics card. You just need a 30 series, and you're pretty much golden if the game is optimized properly. Like Helldivers before it was optimized. I get on here, four people, I'd hop into a server with four people or hop into a match with four people. And right about suicide, I would start having skipping moments and my PC would start winding up. Since the optimizations, bro, we have jumped on super Helldive. Me and Dog and you and Bundy on here, maybe Grexion or Eli, and we have just and I run right through it. There might be a point where we're running into a serious number of enemies, and it might start to, and my frame rate will probably drop from 30 down to like 29, 28. But the optimizations are running it, and that's on a NVIDIA 1060. And I've lowered the settings on Helldivers, and I'm just looking at that like, man, I want a 30 series so bad because I could just max out the graphics on Helldivers, and it would look beautiful. Oh, it would look amazing. It would look awesome. Game would crash nonstop. Oh yeah, we have. Yes, yes, we have. We've done a super hell dive at one point, and I that was after the optimization, and it ran smooth, almost smooth as butter. I was impressed, and I'm like, dear Lord, I'm running a NVIDIA 1060. I wonder what happened if I had a 30, if I had like a 30 series or something like that. I've got to get a 30 series as soon as they come out. I didn't realize. Yeah, because I remember it was right afterward. Either you were there or it was me, Dog, and no, I think it was there was another guy with us. That was like super hell dive and we were doing something with another player. and we were helping him out, showing him how to do stuff. And that may be what I'm thinking about if we were doing it then. I know Dog was with me when we were doing it. We were doing Super Hell Dive on something with the bugs, and that's when we were running it. We never. I don't think we've ever done Super Hell Dive with the bots. Definitely not the squids, because dear Lord, those them things I've stuck. I've got to come up with a loadout that works for them pretty good, and we've got a couple of good things now that do loadout. Plus, it adds the fun and chaos of the game slash more content. Oh yeah, yeah. When with the game just having a whole bunch of stuff in there, and you're just like slamming away, and that's the thing. With I've seen some people who have good graphic settings, who have like really good cards. They have good, strong, high end PCs, and the game is looking like a cinema. It looks like a cutscene from back in the day, just tearing through. And that's what I'm hoping I can get to. I'm hoping for that because it's like, I think they said somewhere between $200 to $300 for a 30 series graphics card, and I'm thinking, holy shit, that's what I'm wanting. Belt fed grenade launcher plus maxi gun for squids, hell yeah, and a lot of fire. Yeah, I am really liking I like the hammer that they're coming out with. I think that'll be fun to play with. I don't know what the passives for the armor is. I haven't had enough time to look into it, see what the armor passives are, so I'll have to figure those out later. But yeah, I like the idea, and also I think Dog is going to be bringing out the portable rock, the Davy Crockett's that they're going to be bringing in, which is like a portable 500 pound or 500K hell bomb, and the hammer. The hammer. Here's the thing: there's actually a festival down in Mexico where they will strap dynamite to sledgehammers and start hitting railroad ties with them. I'm sitting there thinking like, yeah, Arrowhead saw that and thought, let's make that a weapon. Just a reloadable charge on there. You just slap the charge on the sledgehammer. I'm like, I have a weapon. It's 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 very simple. It's about as bad as the chainsaw. A chainsaw is just a melee weapon that needs ammo. We've got a hammer that needs ammo now. Time to role play as Vulcan from the Salamanders. I love the Salamanders. I am sitting there hoping. I'm like some guys who were talking about the whole salamander aspect with the whole 40K thing coming out, where they're supposed to be doing a 40K series, and I'm just like, they just need to stop being pretentious about everything that's going on and just lean into the salamanders. And we all know what's going to happen in a world with actual Chads. You'd have a bunch of white dudes with black face paint on, and we would all be fine with it. We would all be fine with it because that's how that's supposed to be. But it's my two favorite factions in Warhammer. I don't have any minis. For anyone wondering, I have no minis. I have looked into the lore. I do like a lot of lore. The two factions that I like the most, and it's a toss up between Salamanders and Blood Ravens. And I like the Blood Ravens simply because they're just kleptomaniacs stealing shit all the time. And that's usually what I do in video games. If I can take it from the enemy, it's mine. Okay, hippity, cue Russian Badgers, hippity hoppity. It's now my property. Playing, you ought to watch me play Mercenaries World in Flames. Oh look, a tank. It's mine now. All the Venezuelans are sitting there looking like, how did we end up on the outside of this tank? I don't know. Rodriguez got his head crushed by the frickin' metal plate that's on top. But yeah, Renegade Bundy. I like the Salamanders and a fan made chapter called the Angry Marines. Oh yes, I've heard of the Angry Marines. Yes, that's a fun one too. I actually know I like y'all talking about some of this stuff, and I actually know some of this crap. I know a little bit of the lore. It's something I got into. I got into reading up on. I'm gonna sit here and make this notice. I got into like lore aspects of 40K because I started getting lore videos, and people were talking about. I think they started with the orcs, and I was reading it, and I was listening to it like all the stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is Warhammer 40K. I thought this was like a grim, dark, serious nonsense and everything, and the orcs were just like the crazy, like the dumbest faction. And I'm going, Are we talking about the same thing? And I get to looking up, and yeah, that's all about the same. The Polish army joke where they actually become Voltron up and become a tank is actually hilarious as all get out. Renegade Bundy here. They are the effing best. I read the Angry Marines lore, and it's just so fucking funny. Yeah. Um. That's the thing. I've just been more like the Chaos Gods. I'm not too interested in like the Chaos Demons or anything like that. That's not what interests me in the 40k lore. What interests me in the 40k lore is stuff like Trazen. Going in there and just snatching stuff at random, and I'm like, oh god, you live in a universe where this guy, where a Necron dude just like pops in and say, you're saying like, yes, we found this brand new artifact that has all this and this, and you turn and look back, and there's a Necron like holding it like, YOLO, bitches. Boop, he's gone. Like that would be super annoying. But yeah, that's the fun part about it. I do like that. I have gotten into the 40k, the lore aspect of it, and like I said, I'll probably never buy the minis, but I love the lore aspect of it on and everything going through that. And every time I see like I've got some people I think I'm trying to follow. It's just that's another thing I despise about YouTube at times, the main page. They just send me all kinds of political shit, and I'm like, look, I don't like the political crap. I would like to just go on here and find something funny like I used to when I was a kid. Like the what is it? There used to be one, a commercial on here where I think it was a Doritos commercial, and a guy pulls up to a little old woman, and she's fell asleep in the middle of the road, and so he starts revving the engine, blaring the horn, and so she takes a big bag of milk, swings back, hits him right in the bumper, and he is right up inches from the steering wheel, just hammering it, and the airbag deploys. Slams him back in the seat. He's sitting there rubbing his face afterward, just like stunned. He's shell shocked at that point. The airbag deploys and like locks him up. And so he's just sitting there like rubbing his face and everything, trying to get his whereabouts. Little old lady, she's just like walking on back, like nothing's wrong. I think that was a Doritos commercial for the Super Bowl. Hilarious stuff like that you could get on there and watch. Like early days of Demolition Ranch and FPS Russia and Red versus Blue. Red versus Blue, dear God. There will never be a red. Like if you could do a red versus blue nowadays, it could not be done on YouTube. I want to do a machinima, like I said. I will probably do that machinima somewhere else. There's art of the Angry Marines chapter master riding Robuto Gilliman, using him as a fucking warhorse. Okay, when you before that second comment, I remembered Nux Taku's video on Islamic lore where the Indian men mounted the prophet, and I was like, wait, hold on now. Okay, wait, I don't swing that way. Anyway, it's late. It's 12 o'clock. I'm gonna hop off. I'm just rambling right now. Nothing's getting done. Y'all just looking at an Architins build that's partially finished on here, and I'm rambling away at it. Anyway, I should get a VTuber model. I'm not gonna be a girl. We're not doing tit. I can run this channel without tits. I can promise you that much. But yeah, I think I would also do a VTuber model, just something different. I don't know. Things to do in the future. Anyway, folks, as always, I am Badger Wild saying thank you all for being out here. Tism, yes, tism hitting me right now. Some kind of tism. I don't know what it is. It's not autism, but it's a tism of some type. But anyway, thank you all for hopping on and watching me tonight. Listen to me ramble and build this awesome looking Architens that we got going on here, and maybe we can get this thing built up, and hopefully you guys will get to see it in later episodes of A Pirate's Life. Be sure to check that out. If you want to see more videos, be sure to become a channel member. 99 cents a month buys me a Dr. Pepper. Helps support my habit. It is more expensive now than drugs at the moment. So, yeah. Anyway, as always, like I said, thank you all for watching. As usual, I'm Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.